Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
And I'm Greg Lloyd. Amanda and I thank you for joining us for WGXA News at 5:30.
Some in the mid-state spent the day in recovery mode trying to clean up after severe weather last night.
The storm front that moved through central Georgia brought winds with speeds up to 60 to 70 miles per hour in some areas.
Meteorologist Ryan Mirando joins us live in Macon, where the wind created a close call for one homeowner. Ryan?
And Greg, Amanda, it was an active evening yesterday with a few of those severe thunderstorms that rolled through. So far, there's been about 40 storm reports across Georgia, really mainly for wind damage. Most of it through Twiggs County, where we had that particularly strong cell gusting up to about 70 miles per hour. But here, I'm in North Macon, where this tree completely fell over from some of these strong winds. This wasn't a worst case scenario. Thankfully, as another tree almost caught this one, so there hasn't been widespread damage to the house, but I'm able to touch parts of the branches that were standing about 20 feet high that are now on the ground. So really, when we have these severe thunderstorm warnings that are over your area, you always want to take them seriously and shelter in place until that severe thunderstorm warning moves over top of you, as damage like this could really happen at any time. We still could have a few isolated storms popping up through the weekend. For more on that, I'll toss it back into the studio to Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett.
And we will have a few storms this weekend, but nothing like we dealt with yesterday. Tomorrow, just a few isolated storms. It's going to be hot both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, I think we will have more activity on the radar. We'll keep an eye on it. We always say a lot of big heat means a lot of big storms, and some of those storms could be on the strong side. But overall, looking great down in Dublin. Temperature back up to 84 degrees. Dublin's one of the locations that dealt with a storm this afternoon, but those storms continue to push off towards the south, and they're mainly east of Interstate 16, or should I say east of 75, and then over towards, say, getting into Montgomery and Wheeler County, heading down towards Toombs County, off towards the north, just a few showers near Sandersville, over towards McIntyre and Gordon, and then we head up towards Baldwin County as well as Putnam County. Storms coming across Lake St. Clair. Hopefully no one's out on the lake right now with all that lightning, but again, it's mainly across our eastern counties. Planning out your evening? Say for Macon down towards Warner Robins, temperatures will be into the 80s, falling into the 70s. Over the weekend, we are heating things back up as that heat index will be over 100. I'll show you how high it goes coming up.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Georgia and West Virginia took to the diamond in the Little League World Series Southeast Regional Tournament today in Warner Robins after storms canceled their game Thursday. Georgia sweeping a victory 13-0. Now Georgia advances to play Tennessee tomorrow at 1 p.m.
And be sure to keep ahead of the storms. Just scan the QR code on your screen to download the WGXA weather app. It's free in your smart devices app store. Ryan's back shortly with your 10-day forecast.
Pencils, pens, and paper, and those are some of the supplies students need when heading into a new school year.
The Project Macon found a local organization that believes there's one more thing that Bibb County students need to be successful in the classroom: conflict resolution. Here's our Brittany Miller.
Veronica Spann wants Macon's youth to know that the community sees them.
I am not forgotten because God knows my name. So that we kind of came off of that part with that, because we want them to know that they are not forgotten.
She's the director of Georgia Family Alliance Incorporated. This weekend, the organization is hosting the I Am Not Forgotten Youth Conference.
Georgia Family Alliance is a organization that wants to empower the parents and the youth in the community with giving them different forms of knowledge.
In the upcoming conference, the knowledge they hope to share will set students on the right track as they head back to school, turning them away from a path that can be all too common: crime and violence.
Allow the children to pretty much learn conflict resolution instead of picking up a gun and killing one another. Then you have one gone to prison, then you have one that's not here. Both families' lives are impacted. So what we are trying to do is to detour a lot of that.
Spann says this is the group's 6th conference of its kind, each one with a different focus. Previously, speakers have given the youth a raw look at prison.
Prison is not the life that you want. Prison is not the way that you want to go, because it's not a cakewalk, according to some of my speakers that have came out and spoke.
With students back in the classroom, the director says they'll be turning their attention to bullying. According to the CDC, nationwide, 1 in 5 high school students report being bullied on school property, while more than 1 in 6 report being bullied online.
They're kind of getting acclimated to the students in the classroom. They don't know, who's going to be in their classroom. They don't know some of the kids. Some of the kids they may know from the previous year. But this kind of will give them some tools to go out throughout the entire year, right, that will help them make the right decisions when they have to, as far as when somebody is trying to bully them.
In Bibb County, students can use a platform called Let's Talk to share concerns they have at school. Project Macon asked the Bibb County School District for the number of Let's Talk submissions that include the word bully for the past 4 school years. In the 2019-2020 school year, there were 212 bullying submissions. In the 2020-2021 school year, that number dropped drastically to just 69. But it's important to remember that was the year of COVID when students did distance learning. It jumped back up in 2021-2022 to 165, and then slightly increased in the 2022-2023 school year with 168 bullying submissions.
If a person is bullying someone, that is putting fear in that other person. And so by that person being afraid, they can, if the bully maybe try to hit them or maybe try to do something, they may retaliate at a second, and then boom, there you go.
SPAN is hoping the conference will show students they not only have options, they have support before they make a decision they can't take back.
We want you to know that you are not forgotten and you are loved.
One of 2 men who were injured in a twin-engine plane crash in Washington County on Tuesday has died. Sheriff Joel Cochran tells WGXA News the passenger, 69-year-old Timothy Fisher, died from his injuries. The crash is under investigation by federal authorities. Today, Bibb County leaders announced they filed a lawsuit against a Macon apartment complex in order to clean up crime.
The lawsuit targets the owners, agents, and corporations associated with Green Meadows townhomes. County leaders say it's due to the high levels of criminal activity, emergency calls, and other reported problems. We'll have a full update on WGXA News at 11.
The Twiggs County Sheriff's Office arrests 2 people in a prescription fraud investigation. Investigators say Christy Parsons exploited medical information from several healthcare workers to get Xanax prescriptions at 11 different pharmacies. Parsons faces 45 charges. The investigation also led to the arrest of Angel Little on 8 charges. The Sheriff's Department says it expects more arrests in this case.
Bibb deputies remain on the hunt for an armed robber who pulled off a daring holdup in broad daylight. It happened around noon yesterday at the Circle K on Riverside Drive and Pierce Avenue. Deputies say the robber got the money and ran away with an accomplice waiting outside. This is the second robbery at the same location this year, marking 7 Circle K robberies in Macon in just 6 months. Well, it's Game Changer Friday, and this week we're highlighting an athlete from Southwest High School in Macon who's getting it done in the classroom, on the field, and of course, in the community.
Our Carlos Stevens joins us live from Southwest to tell us who the game changer is. Carlos?
Well, Greg and Amanda, I talked to Renato Calloway right here at Southwest High School earlier this week, and he told me his reason for impacting his community is simply to leave a legacy.
Practice just to be practicing. We practicing to be perfect.
Those words from Southwest head football coach Joseph Dupree is something that game changer Renato Calloway tried to live by.
Contact, drive, Parker!
But not just on the football field. Calloway is trying to perfect his leadership in the community by touching the lives of the elderly. He volunteers time in his community cutting grass for the elderly, and he mentors in the youth basketball games. Calloway says he helps because he wants people to know they have someone they can lean on.
Some old people not able to get out their feet, provide for themselves, so I'll go and help them.
Calloway has loved the game of football since being a kid. However, Calloway says there's a bigger reason for his grind.
My granny died, and like when she was here, it always motivated me. I used to play at the park. She used to always motivate me, so when she passed, I just kept going with the legacy.
Callaway says that legacy includes motivating others and pushing people to be the best they can be. Something Callaway's coach Cameron Prather says he's doing a great job of, not only in the community, but on the football field.
He's always the first one on the field, always making sure everybody's accounted for, and he's always leading in a positive manner.
And Coach Prather says he's known Callaway since he was a kid and says Callaway is no stranger to leadership.
He actually began showing leadership in the 8th grade. He took over the locker room area, took over on the field. He actually helped me manage a lot during his time at Ballard.
Although Callaway is looking to take his leadership to the NFL level one day, he says there's two things that has his focus.
Keep my grades up, go to college.
Something he says his coaches are pushing him and his teammates to do every day. And when I asked Callaway how does he stay motivated, he told me this.
Mind over matter. Just got to keep the momentum going.
And that's your game changer of the week. Congrats, Fernando. Central Georgia, if you know an athlete impacting their community, simply send their names my way. For now, we're live here at Southwest High School. I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA Sports.
We've made it to Friday, and the weather we can expect, routine for early August across middle Georgia. This weekend it's going to be hot and humid. Daily thunderstorms, mainly during the afternoon and evening hours. You really can almost set your watch by these storms. They pop up about 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon and usually continue to about 10 or 11 at night. Again, that daytime heating is what drives these storms. In any of these storms, they can pack a punch. We say gusty winds, lightning tends to be the main issue with summertime thunderstorms. They produce tremendous amounts of lightning and, of course, heavy rainfall with those tropical downpours. Over the weekend, we'll be watching that heat index, especially on Sunday. It could get into the danger range. We'll keep an eye on it, but overall, it doesn't matter if it's 108 or 104. It's going to be feeling hot across much of middle Georgia, and again, that'll continue into early next week. Heat advisories do include much of South Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. Then you get that excessive heat from Jackson over towards Dallas, Fort Worth. Thankfully, no issues for us in middle Georgia. And again, we're on the edge of that heat dome, and we're going to keep the pattern a bit more active. Showers and storms this evening, pushing off towards the south. Quiet and calm tonight. Most of tomorrow across middle Georgia, I really think is going to be dry. I think they may have more thunderstorms over across Alabama because that's where the main jet will be. And then as we head into Sunday, we could get another one of those clusters of storms dropping south through the day. So that's why I think if you have to pick a day to do outdoor activities this weekend, do it on Saturday, because I think Sunday will have a better chance for rain and thunderstorms across much of middle Georgia. And that's what we're going with. We're going to go with scattered afternoon showers and storms, especially Sunday into Monday. Just the pattern's going to be more active those 2 days. And then next week, relatively quiet and calm. Again, any storms this evening across South Georgia will continue to push down towards the south. Overnight, quiet and calm. Tomorrow morning starts off relatively dry across middle Georgia. A few blips on the radar tomorrow afternoon. Again, rain chances 20 to 30% tomorrow. They'll increase to about 40 or 50% on Sunday, and you'll see that. Maybe one of those clusters of storms moving south through the middle part of the state during the afternoon. And again, we'll have to watch some of these. There could be certainly a few strong storms embedded, maybe an isolated severe storm with that wind gust being the main issue. So as we look at highs tomorrow, hot for middle Georgia. Temperatures pretty close to average, though, low to mid-90s. Your 10-day forecast, we're keeping low to mid-90s in the forecast for Sunday. Rest of next week, not much change day to day as we continue through the month of August. It'll be hot, it'll be humid, and the only heat relief will be those scattered afternoon showers and storms. And, of course, your Harrison's Body Shop fishing game forecast peaks at 5:40 tomorrow morning.
Well, WGXA is proud to help middle Georgia families struggling with diaper access this summer. As a part of our local Sinclair Cares initiative, we're hosting our summer diaper drive to help out local families. You can help make a difference by scanning the QR code on your screen to make a financial donation, or you can head to one of the 7 donation bins found at Kroger locations across middle Georgia and at Vineville Baptist Church to drop off diapers. All proceeds will stay local and benefit the Colby Center right here in Macon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Thigpen. I'm here again today at All About Animals in Macon-Bibb County, and I'm joined again today with Lisa and Frank, and guess who we have today?
Your favorite dog.
My favorite. And you know why she's my favorite? Because I love to say the name, Cholula.
Cholula.
Cholula. Now, Cholula, we've showcased Cholula before, and she didn't find a home. Hopefully she can find one this time. So, Lisa, tell us about Cholula.
She's got a lot of energy right
A
this
lot.
moment. She's about 2 years old, and she is a very sweet girl. She came up this morning and gave Gary a hug already.
She did.
Gave him some
Kiss,
kisses.
yes.
Yeah, but she's got a lot of energy right now, but normally she's fairly calm. So she needs some playtime this morning. She just hasn't had it yet. But
She
she's
sure does.
great.
She is a great dog. And about how old is Cholula?
She's about 2, and she has the best name ever.
She
right?
does. Listen, if you don't adopt her for any other reason, just adopt her so you can go around the house saying, Cholula, Cholula, where are you? I love that name. So if someone would like to adopt Cholula, how would they do that, Lisa?
Send us a message on Facebook and say you saw Cholula on TV, and let us know that you want to set up a meet and greet with her, and we will get back with you as soon as possible. She's a very sweet, sweet dog.
I just can't say that name enough. Cholula, Cholula. Let's find her a really good home. Thank you so much, Lisa and Frank.
Thank you.
Gary's loving that name Cholula, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is.
Well, a working cat is keeping pests away from a Boston area brewery. The owner says the cat is an employee and even has a company ID.
Mike Sullivan talked to the owner about how the cat has helped his business and the organization behind the Working Cat program, which finds homes for felines that aren't well suited for an indoor-only lifestyle.
When it comes to four-legged friends, only a few are pawing for work.
No one's coming. No one's attacking.
Jack's here. He's a real 9-to-5 feline.
He works for cat food and a place to sleep. And an ungodly amount of attention.
Brian Shirtliff is the owner of Bog Iron Brewing in Norton.
Why are you being all grumpy?
4 years ago, they quickly realized they had a mice problem.
Whenever you're going to have grain, unfortunately, you end up having rodents.
With the beer and food around, he became leery of using chemicals or poison.
Staff members suggested a cat. I was at my wit's end, said, sure, let's try it.
They contacted the Animal Protection Center, only to discover they have cats for hire.
He is a working cat, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he is on the job.
Yes, he lives here, yeah. He lives on the premises. He's a working cat. His collar says Bog Iron employee right on it.
After a few weeks, the mice were gone. You could say he asserted his presence to all.
I've been brewing almost 30 years. You know, I put my life into this place, and people are like, hey, can we meet the cat? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, thanks.
He became a mascot for the bar.
He begs like a dog. I've never seen a cat do it.
A social media darling.
Yeah, there's another one of them doing it.
If a brewery or another establishment has a cat on their staff, they should pretty much win the Employee of the Month award every single month.
Mike Kiley is the director of adoption centers for MSPCA Angel.
He's just starting to purr now. The natural connection between breweries and cats became apparent to us.
The MSPCA has had a working cat program for several years. Only recently have they seen breweries turning to them.
And so there's a lot of cats that do need these types of alternative placements.
Particularly outdoor cats who need constant stimulation or may not use a litter box.
I'm probably going to be an indoor cat. They need that social interaction. And so the places that welcome people to their establishment make a nice companion opportunity.
That's just wonderful.
You know, it gave me a good idea. My dog Luke has been living for free now since I had him, as long as I've had him. I'm going to put him to work, bring him to the newsroom, make him like the emotional support animal or something.
Oh, gosh, that would be good. We could use that in the newsroom.
There you go.
Absolutely, but
great.
that's awesome that the cat's keeping the mice away. He's earning his keep. Now they should make a beer in honor of the cat.
That's
True,
a good idea.
or name it after the cat.
Yeah.
And you know what I didn't realize until I had a cat indoors living with me is that they really do keep things away. When I lived in Florida, a lizard got inside my house one time, and I had no idea he was there until like 1:30 in the morning when my cat Ty woke me up, and he brought me a dead lizard.
Well, he brought you a present.
I did. I gave him a treat and said, "Thank you, Ty. Good boy."
That's love, I think.
That is. That's going to do it for WGXA News at 5:30.
We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have an amazing Friday evening, Middle Georgia.